Can I get $1? Just give me $1. That's all I need. All I need is $1. Can I get $1, please?
So it looks like James Gunn's Superman is going to be an utter masterpiece. So again, take this with a grain of salt. This comes from Daniel RPK, who sometimes he hits, sometimes he misses. So let's see. He was also the one that said that there were previous people who saw the dailies of James Gunn's Superman, and they were extremely impressed. So here's what he had to say. I've also heard that the new Superman movie is fantastic, and they're going all out. It's a complete shift to hardcore sci-fi and fantasy, the exact opposite of Man of Steel, which I can hear right now Snyder cultists screaming into the abyss and going into a deep state of depression right now, which makes me very, very aroused. It's set in a world very different from ours and far removed from the DCEU. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to hear, and that's exactly what James Gunn should do. Heroes have been around for ages, and we'll see how it affected this world's history and has shaped the DCU. And I remember James Gunn talking about this on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast, how he said the DCU is almost like an alternate reality, almost like an alternate history from our world. And I feel like this is what James Gunn is going to do with his Superman, where it's harkening back to the classic Superman stories and homaging multiple Superman comics and movies, and also the animated Bruce Timm universe, where in that universe, you really didn't know what time period you were in. It was a retro futuristic look of Metropolis, where you have people like dressing like they're from the 70s, but yet they have technology that's way advanced and doesn't exist in our world. So you don't really know the time frame, and I love that. I love that James Gunn is going the exact same route from the animated series. Mwah, chef's kiss. And we'll see. And what else? The DCU will feature various projects. One more thing. And also, this explains why they are looking for an older Hal Jordan. Because, since this is Heroes already existed for several years, decades, it explains why Hal Jordan is older, and explains why Batman has a son, because, time has passed and other heroes and other heroes have existed, which again goes back to them saying how heroes existing in this world shaped their history. So again, just a smart move by James Gunn. The DCU will feature various projects set across different timelines, not just present day, so more in line with the approach of Star Wars than Marvel. So yeah, listen, everything I'm hearing from James Gunn is on point. I'm super excited for Superman. Like I said, I think James Gunn came in with a lot to prove, especially because number one, we haven't had a great Superman film that everyone has enjoyed. Again, I love Man of Steel, but a lot of people did not. And also the DCEU was just an utter mess. And here's James Gunn coming from Marvel and just a chip on his shoulder. It's like, you know what? Not only will I fix the DC universe, but I'm gonna give you multiple films with these established iconic characters that people will love and go see over and over again, and bring back the prestige of Warner Brothers, DC Comics, but most importantly, Superman, because he's the most iconic character of all time. If you fuck up Superman, your whole DC universe goes to shambles. So you have to make sure that Superman is done right, done correctly, done with respect, and I think that's what James Gunn is going to do. And from what people are saying, like, hey, the fucking movie isn't even cut together yet. And people are already loving the footage that they're seeing. So again, it just gives me great hope for James Gunn's Superman and the DC universe going forward. Now we move forward on to lanterns. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Regarding Green Lanterns, I've heard they're eyeing Josh Brolin because their vision for Hal Jordan is to have him as an older, gruff, no-nonsense mentor to a younger and reckless John Stewart. And as we know, Brolin excels at playing the grumpy type. The series is set to start filming next year with a story that follows Hal and John as they investigate a twisted and bizarre murder mystery on Earth, uncovering a conspiracy that will impact the entire DC universe according to a production grid. Now again, I've made a video on this before. I'll say it again. I like Josh Brolin. If they're looking for, as Daniel RPK states, an older, gruff mentor, no nonsense, but still has a dry sense of humor, I think Josh Brolin is your guy, and he will bring something unique and different to a character like Hal Jordan from the comic books. But also, we have rumors that Ewan McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, Chris Pine, he looks like he's prime, and Timothy Oliphant are all in the mix as well if Josh Brolin declines the role. Now, again, you can't go wrong with either of these actors. They're all great, and it also just demonstrates and shows that they're all older, which again, James Gunn wants to tackle an older Hal Jordan because for whatever reason, having an older Hal Jordan serves whatever story and plan that he has in store for the Green Lantern Corps and the DC Universe going forward. So, I mean, bitching about it is not going to do anything. And I'm kind of low key rooting for, even though I like Josh Brolin, I'm kind of low key rooting for Timothy Oliphant because I like Timothy Oliphant as an actor. I think he has that same cocky swagger, asshole-ish, but with a golden heart, same as Hal Jordan, and I think he can encapsulate that flawlessly through his performance. But I don't think he's gonna get it because I think they want more of a name like a Matthew McConaughey. Ewan McGregor is an interesting choice. Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. Again, I wouldn't mind it, but I think we can go in a different direction with him. And Chris Pine, obviously, he was in Wonder Woman. Obviously, he was like fucking almost like the main star because he could act other than Gal Gadot. I like Chris Pine. Again, if he was cast tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad at it. But at the same time, I'm just like, he was kind of already in the DC universe. And I would have loved Chris Pine as Green Lantern like maybe 15 years ago. But I think... I don't know if you're looking for an older, gruff Hal Jordan, Chris Pine doesn't really fit that bill. That bill kind of serves more Josh Brolin, which is why I think Josh Brolin will take the role in the end. But again, I like Chris Pine. I like Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is kind of weird. That's kind of a weird choice. I really can't picture him as Hal Jordan. But again, if he was cast, I think he would bring something unique to the role. But like I said, I like Timothy Oliphant because I think Timothy Oliphant is the closest in personality that resembles a Hal Jordan type character, especially when he's older and more prickish. But at the end of the day, I think Josh Brolin is gonna take the role, and if he does take the role, again, you have an excellent actor taking on Green Lantern. Like, where is there to complain about? So we'll see how it all shakes out. But again, all these actors are A+++. So that's going to be it. Hit like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, TikTok. This is Zack. Some of the cousins below. What do you think of the Superman news? What do you think of the Green Lantern news? Again, I'm loving every bit of it. Like, the fact that you have all these actors who are great want to play Hal Jordan in this true detective noir space opera on HBO Max, which is going to get very dark. And still keep the fun factor of Green Lantern and expand that mythology even more. Bro, it's like this is what I want as a DC fan. So let's make it happen, James Gunn. Love you all. Stay safe. Truth out.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.